Welcome to Chapter Sass, the podcast where we deep dive into the books that make you blush, gasp, and maybe even think a little. I'm your host, Season, and with every book, I'll be joined with a new co-host with their own hot take. From spicy romances to messy love triangles, and all the glorious chaos in between, we're here with a fresh perspective to unpack the stories we love, question what we think we know, and explore how the book speaks to us. Things might even get a little sassy. This episode is rated mature and will contain spoilers. Let's get into the first chapter. Hi everyone! Today we are going to be covering An Heir of Darkness and Ruin. This is the second book in the Daughters of Chaos series by Mina Brower. We will only be doing the first 10 chapters. We're going to do 10 chapters at a time for this book. There's just like a lot of information, a lot of world building, and so I want to make sure we get to everything. But with that being said, I have brought back Jody. Hi, Jody.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm ready. I'm ready to chat.
Okay. What are you drinking for today?
I've just got some water. My cute little Pisces tumbler. It's glass.
Oh, that's a nice tumbler. For those who are not watching, it's a gorgeous tumbler with Pisces. Also, people can't see this. I'll see if I can take like a picture of it during when I post. But I am drinking out of. I call this my like Ursula mug, even though it's green and not purple. I have a friend who's into like she makes these. She has like a whole series of these, and so she gave me this, and it's just like a big tentacle. I have some coffee in it, but I think it's just so appropriate for like villainesque stuff. So this was my
I've got
interpretation.
I've got my dragon feminism shirt.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love it.
It's ridiculous. I love it.
So we'll recap the first book really quickly, just like remind people where we are. And this is like a very, very quick recap. Like I don't go into like her relationship stuff, so whatever. Like very quick recap. If you want more, go read the book. Go read A God of Moonlight and Stardust. It's great, but read book one. Anyway, so we meet Rena Strongborn. She's a doctoral student who is suppressing her magic. And she's suppressing her magic for two reasons. First reason is she's on a planet where magic is banned. Second reason is she doesn't like to use her magic. Growing up, she had a mentor that made her use her magic to do terrible things, like kill people. And she was abused by her mentor. And she can only use her magic when she's angry. We later learned that the mentor is really Rena's father, Amray, the god of darkness. And current Rena is a reincarnated version of herself. Because of the random attacks that are happening on her university, Rena must flee to the planet Taria, however we pronounce this planet's name, which is guarded by some of the celestial gods. Rena must flee because she was caught using magic. So, like, now the Planetary Council will come after her, and people who like get caught by the Planetary Council are never like the same when they come back because of their magic. She is what she doesn't know is that she is fleeing to Taria with her old lover Kelios. We're gonna call him Kel for the sake of things, but old Rena was in love with this god, but current Rena doesn't know this. She just doesn't have her memories from her life before. And Rena also sees a man in her dreams, and this guy is called Stethos, and he's supposed to be her soul guardian. And I am putting that in quotes, everyone, because we learn a little bit more about this term, soul guardian. Eventually, Amray finds Rena and attacks Taria. We later learn that this Amray is Stethos. It's not like her father. He and Stethos is the adopted brother of Rena, and he fell in love with old Rena, so he has a very soft spot in his heart for her. And when Stethos found out that Rena was reincarnated and being abused by her father, he killed her father in their current lifetime. And the book ends with Rena's magic just like seeping out of her, and she walks through a mirror because she can hear Stethos. And the reason why like magic is seeping out of her too is because she's so mad because she just learned that like everyone was lying to her, that like was alive before, all these people she trusted. So she's just pissed, and the book ends. Dun 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 dun. Okay, so really quickly before we get into like the actual books or some things I really want to point out really quickly. There is a glossary at the end of this book, which I think is so helpful. It literally lists like all the planets, who the people are, like why they're important. I do kind of wish it was in the beginning of the book, especially because when you have an ebook, I'm like really going back all the way to the end.
Yeah.
But it is helpful. Like it tells you like what this means, what this planet means, what planet it's great. I love this. Then there's like a dedication, and there's like two dedications. And I think this sets up the whole book, but it says, "To the readers who want a villain, be careful what you wish for." And then, like, the next page, it has a quote from Mina, and it says, "Only a villain can show us the full extent of our humanity." So, I love those, love it. And now we'll get into our chapters. So we start off, and the book pretty much starts where we last ended. Rena uses the mirror to portal across the astral plane. And using this form of teleporting is very painful. Her body feels like it's on fire. She's just like screaming out in pain. She's asking for this pain to stop. And then we meet Astro. He came to Rena because he heard her cries, and he explains to Rena that when she used magic to destroy the mirror in her room, all the like a month ago, whenever she was like held prisoner essentially in her room. She wanted a way to get out. She created this was a magical mirror, and her need for wanting to get out created this portal. So she's just been having this obsidian mirror that's a portal under her bed this whole time.
Yeah, and it's like she accidentally opened this portal. It wasn't intentional. She
Yeah,
had
it
no
was like her
idea.
subconscious. So
Mhm.
yeah, because she like needed a way to escape. We also learned that it's actually very unusual for Astro to speak to those traveling the astral plane. Johnny and I are arc readers, like we've read the book, and the last like two chapters, when they like tell us why this is important, is like mind fucking blown. So so we'll get back to that later. There will be spoilers for this, but I'll try very hard not to necessarily like give spoilers before we cover them. Can't promise I won't because I know the ending, but we'll see. And then in this book, something that I love is we get a lot of chapters from Stepho's point of view. Because in the last book, we only got the last chapter, and it was like 4 pages. And
Yeah.
so this one, we really see who he is as a person. So when Stethos had attacked Tarya, he did get stabbed by Kel. I thought he didn't, because that's how I interpret it, but apparently he really did get stabbed. And now he's in Dea, which is only a Fae supposedly. It is only a Fae only, like, planet or something, so only Fae people can go in. So I'm assuming that means none of the gods can, like, teleport to Dea.
Yeah.
My
And it's
assumption.
rough. Like,
Yeah,
it's a rough there.
yeah. And in Dea, he has, a magic healing pool, and so he's currently in the magic healing pool trying to fix the, like, stab wound that he got when he was attacking the planet. Then I have some things quoted because I'm going to quote it exactly from the book because I do think that it's important. But one of the things I quote next is Sethos like thinks to himself that my body is thrashy and pulsating with the chaotic black magic of Amray magic. I was never meant to have it, seeking revenge for the injury inflicted on me. This is the first time we see that like Amray's magic is controlling Sethos. Like he's literally like he's trying to heal himself, but like the magic is literally like making him feel, angry and you just revenge for the person who like inflicted this wound. So then we meet Etera, I think that's her name, because we already
I kept
established
saying I kept saying Itara.
Etara, Etera. I don't isn't that like kind of like if I say like whatever, you say Atara, I say
I
Etera.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We have
You say
established
tomato, I say tomato.
yeah, we've
Same thing.
established in fantasy books, we're just gonna like mess up all the words. I will say though, any feedback I can give, I'm currently an arc reader for another book, and in the beginning of that book, every single name is listed with the like the phonetical like
Ooh.
pronunciation, so I can't
Oh, I
mess it
like
up.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like, this is how you pronounce it. And there's, like, 3 names that I would have never have pronounced correctly. Thank God I had, like, the pronunciation next to it. So if I
Yeah.
could just say when we get the next book, we can have that, I would love it. So I could pronounce Etera or however we pronounce her name. So Etera joins Stethos in the healing pool to, like, make sure he's okay, and Edera is like a mother figure to Stethos, and we find out that she's a witch on the run. I have a lot of questions about this because she's supposed to be, like, the chief witch of, like, the king of nightmares or something's, like, domain, but I feel like when they need magic, her being a witch is, like, pointless. So I'm like, but I have just questions about her in general, we'll get into later. But she's on the run, so she's in Dea essentially hiding out from everyone. And Edera is Stethos, and I'm a Disney girly. I think of him as like Jiminy Cricket, like she's like his conscience. She's trying to tell him to like do the right thing, like show him the right path. She tells him that like he needs to come clean with Rena. There's no such thing as a soul guardian. And remember, he told Rena that that's what he was, and there's no such thing as that. So she's like, "You're
Mm,
already starting all these lives with this poor woman. Like, you need to come clean." And Stethel needs Rena at his side for once he attacks the gods because he needs her magic. And he wants to attack the celestial gods because they're the ones who destroyed his home planet as a kid when they were trying to kill Amray, resulting in his mother's death and essentially the planet. Like the planet was destroyed. So he's been manipulating Rena this whole time. He was behind all the magical attacks at the university. He knew that the only way that he'll be able to find any of the celestial gods, including Kel, was to essentially use Rena as like bait. So he knew that like he had to get her out of
right.
Andorra.
And he, like, loves her against his own will, you
Yeah.
know, like, he needs to use her to kill the gods or whatever, right? But I do wanna note that, I have to say Atara, sorry.
No, it
Atara
might be a Tara. I might be wrong. I literally might be wrong.
it just rolls off the tongue for me. We have to note that she's the tattoo lady.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
because he says with her help, I was able
Mhm.
to manipulate,
Yeah.
you know, Rena's situation.
Yeah.
So like,
Mhm.
it's nice that she's like, oh, you know, you need to come clean, and it's like, ma'am, you helped him do this. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
Well, not only that, well, we get no Helen on this book, and I already told you my theories of her. I
Girl,
hope we get her in the next book
yeah,
because
she
there's
has to
no
come
way
back.
she doesn't know. There's no
Yeah,
way she doesn't know. So,
I don't
would
know.
love
I don't
to
know.
we get no Helen on this book, but I would love to know more of Helena. So, and, so he wants to use Rena's powers to help him, and so this whole time, remember in book 1, we were like, "Oh, he wants her to learn to use her powers to defend herself," and it's like, no, he wants her to
No.
learn to use her powers so that she could be a weapon. So, for me, and I have this, like, bolded in my notes, and I was like, "I like Stethos in book 1." Honestly,
Mhm.
I still like him in this book, like, everything that happens, like, it needed to happen, like, that's life. Shit happens sometimes that we don't like, so, like, I still like him in this book. But, like, while I'm reading this whole time, I'm like, "This asshole, he was not who I thought he was." Like, this
Listen,
jerk my mind was just going like, a million miles a minute because 'cause I'm just like, "Oh, he is so evil."
yeah. Oh, well, listen, I couldn't get jiggy with him for chapters and chapters and chapters. I was like, how is everyone so obsessed with this guy? Like, I would kill him.
Well, I mean, I
Yeah,
guess you caught on foreshadowing before I did because I was behind Silas, and then I was behind Sethos, and then I was behind Cal.
yeah.
So, like,
I don't know, but
but
you know what?
I was
He
behind this man, so I'm just like,
I
"What the fuck?"
don't know.
Ugh.
I just felt like he's such a gaslighting ass.
Obviously now I know this, I didn't know this before, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I don't know. Maybe it's my trauma that I just pick it up. I'm like, oh, if somebody were to say something that passive aggressive to me, it would
Yeah.
not go down.
Uh, man. Okay, so now Stethos is, like, in this healing pool, and he's arguing with Edera, however you wanna say her name, we're just gonna agree to disagree on how to pronounce her name.
Lady,
To the
Lady E.
Yeah. To the point where his eyes are blurred, and Amray's magic pushes aside his magic to try to take over his body as he's yelling. So this is once again, Stethel is having like no control over like what's happening. And he says, "You overstep, witch." he's seething in a voice darker than what would be his own. I have a right to justice and I have a right to revenge. And so Edera just like is begging him to to stop this because it will end in tragedy.
Right, he's being consumed.
Mhm. And that, my friends, is the foreshadowing line that we all need. It will end in tragedy.
Yeah.
Uh, so Stethos cannot control Amray's magic. So he needs to take like these tinctures to try to help control it. And he currently needs to take 2 at a time. So I guess before it was 1, but now he needs to take 2 at a time just to control it. And he also needs to be careful with his current supply because once his current supply is done, he's out because the witch that was making these, um, somehow she died. And with this, I say, you have this chief of witch who's like your mother figure. She can't figure
Right.
out how to make a goddamn t-shirt. Like, so
Maybe she doesn't want
I
to.
was literally skeptical. I was like, what good are you?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like, she's trying to get him out of this.
Hmm.
So it's like, does she really wanna keep enabling him? I don't know.
That's true. That's true. So like, pretend you don't know how to make the tinctures. I see that point. But she does see
Yeah.
him like a son, and she says that later. Like, I see you like a son. So that's fair. Amray's magic is just overtaking Sethel slowly. And what we don't see because he has a glamour up is that like the his soul is like slowly being consumed by the magic and like the magic is like covering his like legs and shin right now and it will at some point get to his heart and if it gets to his heart that's like not great. So but he has a glamour on so no one else knows that this is happening except for him and his mother figure. Then all of a sudden Sethel has also a mirror in his house, and the mirror portal opens and he sees Rena in her room and he calls to her. And so now we're kind of like going back in time, like now because we opened the book and Rena was already in the astral plane. So now we're
Mhm.
kind of seeing just like what happened from Stephel's point of view. And so he calls Rena to the mirror and he's like, you need to come, don't take the tincture. And as she goes through the mirror, remember from the last book, Nira runs in at like opens the door and like runs in after her. Once Rena reaches Stethos, she's burned very badly and is still seeping black magic slash blood. Apparently now it's like blood. And Stethos puts her in the healing pool, but she's like out for the count. She's like she's healing, she's unconscious.
Like a week.
Yeah, it's a whole week. Yeah. Stethos then instructs Edera to destroy the mirror because it is a portal but this mirror is his, like, last token of his mom, and so
Mm,
I think 2 things. I think, when he decided to destroy this, I think that was his last, like, connection to humanity, essentially,
yeah.
like, that was his last of his mom's thing, now no matter what, he's always gonna be vengeful, like, he has nothing to, like, bring him back.
But doesn't he? Because he said he didn't wanna see it destroyed, and for her and for Tara to take it away and destroy it. Did she?
I think she did. I don't think she's fucking with any of this. I think she destroyed maybe she didn't, that's a good point, maybe she
I
didn't.
My theory is that she put that shit away,
She put
and
it
she's
away?
like, yeah, I think because she's like his mom, and
Yeah.
she's like, "No, like, I can't just let the last bit of humanity, I cannot destroy this."
That would be
But
a
that's my
great
theory.
no, that's a great twist of events. I actually love this theory that she just, like, took it and hid it, because now it makes me wonder. Because I thought she did destroy it because and another reason why I think this is because if the mirror is destroyed before I'm sorry, before Nira can make it through, what does this mean for Nira?
Right.
So, I think she did destroy it because we learn later when we get to Nira's point, I have a whole rant on that. That is
Okay.
not in these chapters, but I have a whole rant on Nira, but, like, is she, like, lost in space or something now because she didn't yeah, who knows? But I actually love your she's also a witch, maybe she was able to close the portal and not destroy the mirror, but keeping the
Yeah, but to
mirror
me, like,
yeah.
astral planing, right? Like, yeah, you can open a portal, but that doesn't mean that's where Rena opened the excuse me, Rena opened the portal there. Nira did not. So does that mean she gets to open something else or find, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
it wasn't necessarily her
That
destination.
is true, and
So
they do talk about this. I'm rereading the book, so when we get to these, I forgot exactly, but there is something that says, like, you should never try to portal or something to a place that you've never
been to
seen or been to, that you should only do it to something that you can
another
visualize, but you
person. Yeah.
technically can do it to find a person, like, portal to, like,
Like
to that
Brenna's doing
person.
what's
So, I
yeah,
forgot there are reasons and stuff, and when we get to that chapter, because I have to reread that part again, um, but I would assume Nero, first of all, Neera's a god, so she's not Fae, so I assume in the hierarchy of things she is above it, but she's using that to find Rena. So, like, you're not supposed to do it, but it is possible. It's
right.
my assumption. But again, when we get when we get to the chapter about Little Miss Neera, I have words to say. Uh,
Something to get off your chest, I hear you.
yeah, no, oh my god. Like, I hope in book 3 she comes for them all. Uh-huh. Okay, so back to our summary. Okay.
Okay.
So Stethel tries to help Rena heal in the healing pool because she has, like, a lot. Magic blood is coming out of her. There's, like, so much. She's burnt to, or like a crisp, essentially. Like, he's really trying to help her, and Fey magic can heal. But then he hears in a dark voice, "The powers you stole are to destroy, not nurture, not heal." So this is yet another time Stethos can't even control his power because he has no access to his Fey power right now.
Right.
Yeah. So Edera asks, like, now that Rena is in Dea, and Dea right now, like, when Stethos brought her in Dreamworld to Dea, it was very nice. But she is currently, like, in a rundown fortress in Dea. Uh like, it's not beautiful. There's, like, she can hear the woods. It, like, scares her. It's just, like, not, like, a great place. But Edera asks, like, what are you gonna do with Rena now that she's here? Will you take her to Valaris, to where her sisters are? Or her half sisters. And now this is the first time that, like, the daughters of chaos are mentioned,
I
in
think
this
I think not Valaris.
Valaris. How would you pronounce it?
I forgot what it's called, but I'm really sure Valaris is a different book.
I know, I think it's almost spelled the same. No, I agree.
Really?
I
I thought
remember
there was an
looking at
S
it.
in the middle. So
I remember looking at it and remember thinking I think they were pronounced the same.
okay. Okay.
Maybe
I
I'm
was
wrong.
like,
But yeah,
that's
it's
who
we're
cares?
thinking of
We know what we're
Anastar.
talking about.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Valaris.
Okay.
It would gr This is yet again why it'd be so helpful to have that pronunciation for everything.
Yeah, seriously, right. Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
so so this is the first time Daughters of Chaos are mentioned, and then Stethos is like, "I don't trust them." Apparently, someone tried to assassinate him twice, and he's pretty sure it was one of the other daughters, and so he pretty much is like, he's gonna keep this secret as long as it serves him, like, once again, lying to her. So, like, the whole relationship has just been a lie to poor Rena, which is, ugh, so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they cannot stop Rena from bleeding black blood, which can only mean that she has her father's god magic, and he was the god of darkness. And so everyone's, like, freaking out, and she's just like, if you know what this means. But also in the first book, darkness wasn't necessarily evil. It was like, you need dark to have life. So I
Right.
do think even though she's getting this magic and it's perceived as evil, it's actually gonna be good magic, and she's just gonna have to know how to use it for good. That's what I think, but we'll see. And
I
Adora
agree
just
with
keeps
you.
telling Stethos that, like, you can have a life with Rena, filled with love, as long as she doesn't ever find her mates. Which, again, foreshadowing here. And why would you trade in love for violence? And Sethos pretty much is just like, his plan to avenge his people has always been his sole goal for so long that romantic
Mhm.
love just seems like a distraction. Like, he knows nothing else but to complete this goal. Yes, he loves her because he did protect old Rena from, like, beatings from her father. He did try to get old Rena
Mhm.
out, so, like, he does know love, but he doesn't I don't think he knows how to accept it now back, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So him and Edera continue arguing, and he essentially kicks her out and says, like, "Don't ever come back," or he's gonna, like, turn her in. And mind you, this is his mom, like, his unofficial
Right.
mother. Yeah. Like,
Which yeah.
yeah, it's like, ugh, why would you do such a thing? So Rena stays in the healing pool for about a week and she finally becomes conscious again. When she awakens, she learns that she must integrate with her magic. And so once she does this fully, her magic will be a part of her and she like just won't be able to suppress it the way she's been doing it for years. And while
Mhm.
Stethos is trying to like calm Rena, Rena realizes that Stethos has been lying to her. He knows this is not her first lifetime. And she becomes angry and she's like, how can you not tell me about
Right. You
any
too.
yeah, she's like, "You equally lied," and Setho, like, blames everybody but himself. He's like, "Well, that was Kel's story to tell you, that wasn't
That wasn't my
mine.
story to
Yeah,
tell.
why would I bring up re-traumatizing events for you?" Like, everything but taking accountability for himself. And so,
Mhm.
Rena realized, like, she's like, "I'm gonna forgive you," but she realizes the, like, that she's being a hypocrite in this. She's like, "I haven't forgiven Kel for all this, I'm about to forgive Stethos," and essentially the same, but she's alone. She's like, can't go back to she realizes she can't go back to Andorra. She's not going back to Taria. Like, she's like, "I have nowhere else, so, like, this is everything, so, like, I have to forgive him." Meanwhile,
Oh,
during
this just sucks, right? Like
yeah.
this I just want to sneak this in here because this is like day-to-day regular relationships nowadays when people are like, "Oh, why don't you just leave him?" Like, girl, sometimes it's like, where else can you go? How can you start over when this is all you know? Are we supposed to just go start over on the streets?
Yeah, and she doesn't have,
You
like,
know,
family either. Like,
right?
this
And then on the streets of Darya at that.
yeah, oh, yeah, because we
Like,
learn later Daya is like a it's not a good
I
place
thought
to be in.
it's like the South Side. It's like the South Side of Chicago in the
It is
90s.
not a good place to be in, at all. But during all this time, they're, like, low key flirting with each other. They're, like, getting a little touchy.
Low key, stop. Low key, please. They did everything but rip each other's clothes off.
They technically didn't kiss, they almost kissed, but they technically didn't
Yeah.
kiss. But they're, like,
Yup.
kissing each other's foreheads or whatever, like, cupping each other's faces, they're, like, intertwining their fingers, so,
Yeah.
all types. But I also think this is because they're doing this in the middle of an argument and she's about to forgive him. I also think that kind of I don't wanna say taints, but it puts Stethos in a good light in Rena's eyes because it's like, "Oh, he's gonna protect me, he's gonna do this. Yeah, he lied." Like, it is an easier way for her to forgive him and not Cal. So
Yeah, but it's like, oh, to me as a reader, or maybe because I'm kind of I always got one eyebrow up
mhm.
for
Well, you
everybody. And
should.
I'm like, ma'am, he's just manipulating you. Like, soft little blows here and there, but like
Mhm.
he just sugarcoats all the shenanigans. Whatever. Don't
No,
get me
you're
started. 'Cause
right.
I have beef with Setos like from chapter one.
Uh,
He and I are beefing. So
oh, this is a whole new side of me. Like I said, I really like Sethos in book 1. Again, I still like him now. Like, even when we get to the end of this book, like, shit happened the way it needed to happen. Like, and I
Mhm.
still like him. But also,
Okay.
you and me are the same. We do like a good villain story. Like, please give me a good origin story. I am waiting for Hades and Ursula for Disney to give me their origin story because
Yeah,
if
I
we're being
know what I'm
honest,
saying.
Ursula, that's why I picked this cup. Ursula was
I don't think
technically
Ursula's a villain.
Ursula was
I don't think so.
Ursula was technically the sister of of King Triton.
She's
And
just
he
misunderstood.
yeah, and I'm like, I feel like she had reason to do certain things. Cannot wait for
Mhm.
her origin story. Would love it.
Yeah.
And
Oh, we've
Hades.
we've derailed though.
Yeah,
Like,
we have. We'll go back. Sorry, everybody. We do.
sorry.
Thing is,
We
me and
that
Javi do love
ADHD
yeah,
up in here.
me and Javi do love a good villain origin story. So while I'm very mad at Sethos, I'm also here for his whole story. So
Okay.
okay, let's go back. So
Okay.
it's been a week. Ren has been in this pool. She is now integrating her magic to herself. She then goes back to sleep for 2 more days. Her body is still healing, it's still taking a lot. She awakens because it's like again, she's like in a scary fortress. There's like she can hear the outside. Apparently the trees whisper to each other, all these things. So she's hearing it. She's kind of scared. So she goes to the pool and she meets Stethos there. And Stethos tells Rena that he overthrew her father and is now the ruler of however we want to say the planet Valaris. I think it's that or close to that. He also
Yeah, right.
tells Rena about the night his mother died and how he found her body in the rubble of their house. He had to
Mm,
dig just to find his mother's hand and how he heard like her last breath as she died. Then Amray found him and raised him as his son so the people would never forget the night of 1,000 tears. So like that night that the celestial gods like destroyed this planet is called the night of 1,000 tears. And he is always was always meant to be a symbol. Like, that is why
mhm.
Amri made him his adopted son, was to be this symbol for to, like, get an army. Stetho then explains to Rena that he will have his revenge on those who were involved in his mom's death and the destruction of the planet. Like, they're all gonna pay that he's been from day one, that's has been his whole goal. Rena agrees to
Right.
stand by him and help. Rena asks Stethos to help her, help her train to, like, use her magic. And in this chapter, there is some more flirting. They're touching each other. They're, kissing each other's forehead, touching each other's hands. But what we have to realize is Rena doesn't know that the people responsible are the celestial gods. Like she thinks it's like a complete other people. She doesn't realize it's people that she has like a connection to. And this is
Mhm.
what Edera was like,
Friends.
yeah, her friend. This is what Edera was like saying, like, you have to tell her, like, this is what she's doing. Like, you can't train her and then have her be on the battlefield and be like, what the fuck am I, doing?
Right.
Yeah. So later that night, Rena has a nightmare and Stethos comes to her. And Rena explains that in her nightmare, her father is chasing her in his like animal form, which is a golden serpent. And in this nightmare, Amri tells Rena to tell Stethos that to kill a god, one must kill its soul. And Stethos is starting to think that these are not normal nightmares because he's like, how does she even know? She can't remember
It's too
anything from her
specific.
past. Yeah. How does she know that
Mhm.
her dad's like animal is a golden serpent? He's like, I'm sure the celestial gods didn't tell her. Then he's like freaking out because he did kill the body, but he didn't kill the soul. So the only person that can help him is Edera because she was like the chief witch of like the king of nightmares. And so he's like, you'll be able to interpret this for me. And so pretty much what we learn is that um if you don't kill the soul of a god, and if there's enough and if you can get enough body like of it, the rest can regenerate. And so Setheld
Mhm.
has killed Amaray and scattered his bodies across 7 universes, but he never killed his soul. So now he's freaking out, and so he starts going to all the places. He remembers every single place that he buried, uh, parts of his body, and when
Mhm.
he reaches the first 3 places, he finds all the remains, so he's like, "Okay, this is good," but when he reached the 4th spot, the remains are missing. And something else we learn in this chapter is that uh, some of the body parts he puts like in a black hole, and no one can come close to black holes unless they know how to enter through their wormholes. The center of the black holes are stable, and this is why Amory chose to relocate all the people of the planet that Stethos planet to Valaris is because only a select few know how to enter it and exit. And I do think this is important later because like not everyone can come in.
Mhm.
You need to know exactly how to come in and how to maneuver all this. So now Stethos realizes that like his body is being regenerated. Someone does have his remains. And so Edero is like, you need to stop now because if he's coming back, the first place Amaray is gonna come is to destroy you. Like forget your goal of vengeance, like you need to tell everyone you need to align with the celestial gods so that you all can destroy him because he's gonna come back bigger and better. Because we don't know who found his body. Like at this point, they're like,
Right.
How big is his army? Like who is doing this?" And Seth was pretty much just like, absolutely not. This is the perfect time for me to attack Taria and destroy the celestial gods. Like, I'm not gonna listen to that. End of chapters 1 through 10.
Ay, setos.
So yeah. So also during that, I'm gonna try to highlight every single time Stethos like loses control. Because when I read this the first time, I didn't catch on that he was really losing control until I don't know, it's like chapter like 20. And he doesn't fully lose control like toward until the end of the book, but like I think around 20-ish or like midway through, I was starting to be like, oh, something's happening. So and from 1 through 10, I counted 3 times. Hopefully that is all 3 times and where like he does not have control of his body, like something else is, and he needs these tinctures.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, little red flags.
not just a little, they're huge.
Okay, I was trying to be nice, because I know you like him, but
I mean, I like him, but I mean, he was wrong. I mean, I can like him and know he's wrong. Like,
oh,
don't know if I'm gonna,
yeah.
like, defend him to the end of the world, but, like, every story does need a villain, like, otherwise you don't really
I
have a
know
plot,
you
so,
exactly.
okay, and so, who do you think? Because we don't find out in this book, so this is literally a theory, and once we, like, finish it, we'll go through this again, but, like, who do you think is the person do we think we know the person who is digging up the bodies and bringing back Amory?
I wanna answer that, but I'd be giving away a big spoiler for a
Oh, I think it's
later
fine. In the beginning
chapter.
of my intro, I say there's spoilers, so I think it's fine.
Um, I don't wanna no, I feel like I don't know then. I'm just trying to remember, like, I know Silas was
Oh,
oh,
when
we
we
can
get to Silas and some more chapters of him, not I have stuff to say about him because I'm just wondering how love works now, because I do think
yeah.
he's gonna fall in love with someone else.
Yeah, I
I was
mean,
so
he's a
so in
hoe
love.
for sure, I will say, but he might be a smart hoe. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. I'll wait to say until we get to the chapter, but there's a chapter, and I think we're actually very close to the chapter. No, I think there's
Okay,
like 2 chapters. I think we're very close to when I started to feel suspect of this person, and then I think later on there's like another thing that is said, and I'm like, "Ooh, I don't trust this person." I don't know if this is the person that did it, but I do think this person is not being as truthful as we think, to everybody.
okay.
So, yeah,
There's so many people coming that I am like, I can't even try to figure out who you're talking about.
I think the next set of chapters, we touch on this person, and once we touch on this person and because this person says, like, 1 or 2 things that I literally do not agree with,
Okay.
I'll next episode, I'm pretty sure it's in the next few chapters. I'll let you know who I think who's being a little shady, and it's supposed to be a good this person's supposed to be a good person, and I think this person is being a little shady for being a good person. Mhm.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and so for our sassy question, we're gonna answer this question at the end of the book. But I wanna get it before and get your thoughts, and then, like, once we, like, talk everything through and, like, because we don't you and me don't necessarily talk about the books, like, once I hear, like, your side and you hear my side at the end, like, let's see if our
Yeah.
answers change. So for our sassy question, well, we're gonna answer it now and we're gonna answer it again later. But Mina says you can only a villain can show us the full extent of our humanity. So do you agree or do you disagree and why?
Oh, ask me the question again or say the thing again.
That's okay. Only a villain can show us the full extent of our humanity. Do you agree or disagree?
Oh man, I gotta agree. Like otherwise, how do you know what forgiveness is? If somebody doesn't upset you, how do you know how to forgive? Right?
Mhm.
Um, if somebody is perfect at all times or nothing ever goes wrong, how do you distinguish right from wrong? Like do you have to have villain-esque things happen for you to understand what's right, or, you know, that's my answer.
No, I like that answer. My answer is kinda similar. I think, there's yin and yang no matter what. There's always a balance, I guess. And
Mhm.
so we need villains in the world to show us that balance and to show us, like, who we are. I also think villains sometimes show us, like, how far we're willing to accept or do before we consider ourselves a villain, or, like, how far is wrong, you know?
Yeah.
So I do agree with it. Like I said,
Yeah.
not to go back, I'm waiting for my Hades and Ursula.
I was gonna say, I do wanna add though, like, with the whole villainess thing, like, you have to know when to stand up for yourself, and sometimes that means being the bad guy, putting
Mhm,
your foot down. You know, these people who don't believe that you're right, but you know in your heart, like, I gotta stand up for myself,
mhm,
they're going to villainize you even though you're not being
mhm.
a villain. You're just being strong, you know?
Yeah. No, I that's another great interpretation too. 'Cause yeah, I actually really like that
I know.
interpretation.
I was gonna
That
say
was
how
deep.
many times people thank you,
That was a little
therapy
deep, yeah.
girl. It's therapy.
Everyone in this book needs therapy, by the way. Yeah,
Oh,
so,
yeah.
yeah,
Big time.
yeah. And not and but, like, too, I guess, kind of your point, like, that's what Stethos believes. Like, everyone else is gonna villainize him, but, like, I mean, I briefly touched upon, like, his
Mhm.
traumatic experience with, like, when his mother died. Like, I didn't even touch upon, like, the way Amray abused Rena. He abused equally Stethos. So, like, this is a
Oh,
kid
yeah.
at the end of the day who knows nothing else, and in his soul, getting his vengeance is all he knows, and like, fuck everybody else, like, he is going to do this. So
It's his truth,
it's
right?
his truth. And I mean, it is
Mhm.
true. It's not for me, that's, like, not a reason to wanna get revenge, but, like, that is his truth, that is what he lived, and he is going to live out his life. And so, yeah, being a villain, I don't think is just there's a lot of gray in that area. It's not just,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
black and white. So,
Yeah, 50 shades of it.
yeah, literally. Wait till we get to the spicy scenes, guys. Wait till we get to the spicy scenes. You have to pull out your fan again
Oh, yeah.
and do all this. But we don't get to spicy scenes for a minute, so don't worry, guys. There's
It
a
is good, though. It is
it
always
is. Once
funny.
we get to the scenes, it is amazing, but there's a lot. The slow burn is so slow burning, if that's even a word. Yeah. And remember, we were saying how much this girl needed to get laid before, because
Oh, yeah.
I feel
Poor thing.
like by the time they do it, I'm like, this poor woman. Ah.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, I think that's all I have. We'll do every 10 chapters, which I think is much better. Oh, wait, before we leave, I want your opinion on the world building, because one of your critiques last time when we recorded this during the first book is that you wanted to feel the atoms separate and all of this. And
Yeah,
we
I
get
was
that
like, you're
literally, like, first sentence.
well, let me
This
tell
book,
you something.
first sentence, the world building was amazing.
I was like, did she hear me? Did Mina hear me?
She heard you. She wrote that
She heard me,
specifically for
right?
you, even though the book was already written before
Even
you
though it
could
was
even
already,
talk about it. She did it
she
specifically for you, yes.
yeah, in a different timeline,
Yeah.
in a different life, she was like, this is gonna piss Daddy off. Let's rectify it. Well, it was hilarious because I do remember I was like, no, I mean, teleporting has to be painful. Like your atom gotta be pissed. I think I said something along those lines. And right immediately as the book started, I was like, yes. I think first of all, I think I started this at like 10 o'clock at night on a school
Oh,
night,
sorry. Yeah.
and I'm like under my covers and I'm like, yes. And I was like, oh shit, let me shut the hell up.
Uh,
It'll wake my daughter up, but yes, I love it. The world building is just spectacular. I the things that I was missing the first time, the first book, I immediately got, like, page 1 in the second book, so no complaints.
yeah, it was literally, yeah, first sentence. I have to agree, I I thought she did world building kind of in the last one, so to me, that wasn't like a critique or anything, but I did visualize so much more in this. Like, I could like, she was,
Yeah,
like, describing, like, the clouds and this or not clouds, the stars and, like, the colors and, like, I could picture that in my head very vividly. Uh,
yeah,
yeah, when because we were ARC readers and we, like, posted, like, about the book. I tried very hard anytime I had, like, a space theme to try to, like, put onto paper, like, what I envisioned in my head. So hopefully I did a good
yeah,
job, but I was like, "No, like, there needs to be swirls, there's stars." It's like she uses pink and purple and magenta and all these other
yeah,
things, but yeah, I think it was described very good. Even when we get into Dea more, like and, like, when we're not there yet, but when she, like, describes, like, when they go, like, outside the fortress and stuff, just, like, it's very, very I like it, yeah. The black
yeah, I think it was,
holes, like,
oh,
I could
yeah,
literally picture, like, a little thing being stabilized in, like, this big black hole, so I
mhm.
yeah, I loved it, yeah,
I
she's a
was
great
at first, I was doubting myself. I was like, "Damn, do I have, like, no type of imagination at all?" And I didn't pick up on the world building the last book, but this one, like, it was like, bam, in your face, and I
yes.
was like, "Oh, thank you, because that's what I need."
I just need a little bit. Okay, yeah, I just wanna talk about that really quick 'cause, like, oh, it's like, we
Mhm.
definitely get the world building in this, and we could talk about it more, but, yeah, that's all, we have, so we'll do the 11 through 21, later. We'll get a little bit more, we'll get more into our theories. There's no Helena, so my Helena theory will have to wait, but I still think she's sus. She literally is not mentioned. She might be mentioned, like, because Rena misses her, but, like, she's not her body physically is not brought up in this.
Yeah. Plus, I can't tell you how many times we've read a book or watched a movie or a series, and we're, like, so suspect of somebody, and then they never come back, and then I'm like, "What is this?
No, I
Where did
don't
this person
I
go?"
mean, maybe the author, like, maybe Mina's not like, Helena maybe fulfilled her purpose, but, like, I still do not care, like, she knew about magic. She lied, she took you to the tattoo parlor, that was all part of the plan. She just, like, act dumb. There's no way. There's there's no way.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. I would love to
Uh,
hear from her again.
yeah, there's no way, I don't care. She's sus. Yeah, I like, honestly, I was like, "Wait, but can we bring Helena back?" Like, I was waiting for her to be like, "Mwahahaha," and, like, be in, like, Sethos army or whatever. That never happens, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna speak directly to Mina. Mina, if you don't bring her back, Season's gonna do her own fanfic about Helena.
No, I won't do that, but, I just want her to come back and be like, she was evil, or maybe she was, like, good, but knew about was there, like, maybe to, like, protect Ren or help her, like, on her way since she was reincarnated. I don't know.
Ooh, what if Sethos put her there?
I'm 90% sure Stethos did. Like, because how does she just end up in this, um,
Maybe
at
she's
the tattoo?
the daughter. Maybe she's the daughter of the witch.
Oh, I could see that. I could see that she's a daughter of the witch. I do think witches are gonna be a little bit more important because we have the witch who just magically died, which I don't think this witch magically died. I think maybe Amaray or whoever realized that, like, he was getting these tinctures, and we don't this witch isn't really brought up again, so this is all in my
Mhm.
head that I have found out, like, coming to conclusions with. I think that, like, this witch was definitely killed on purpose. Uh, you also have a witch who's, like, the chief witch of, like, nightmares or whatever. There's the witch from Taria who has a daughter. So,
That's
yeah.
who I'm thinking.
Yeah,
That's what
maybe
I was
no, but
thinking.
maybe Helena is that person, so that works for me. So I love that theory, but we'll see, but I just don't think she's as innocent as we all think. But yeah.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Cool. Well, I will see you later. Bye.